Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video, it is going to be the weekly reactor farm from the 1st of October to the 10th. Now, you are absolutely going to want to farm reactors this week because we have several great spots lined up. So let's get on into it. Before we do that though, my creator code is going to be on screen right now, so make sure to rock that creator code and join my Discord server, which is also going to be linked in the description. So with all that out of the way, let's actually get on into today's video. So starting off, we have the Hailey Reactor within the Echo Swamp. You're going to want to go hard mode and you're going to teleport here because the mission we're running is Hazy Swamp. This is an exterminate mission and it is absolutely great. It's a simple, fast mission that you can absolutely rinse very fast with Bunny or with Freyna or any other mobbing build. You can use any Descendant for the farming, but it's just completely up to you. Now for this, if you guys remember this last week, this was the spot for a Bunny Reactor. However, this week is for Hailey, so make sure to get your Hailey Reactor this week. So let's talk about what you are actually going to want on the reactor. Now, if you are going for a bossing build, then you are going to want to go with the piercing light being your mounting. However, in the next update, you will be able to change your mounting to any weapon anyways. So if you still get a good reactor without the piercing light, make sure to hold onto it. For the two stats in the middle, you are going to want chill and singular. Chill and singular are going to be on here, so you obviously boost Hailey's abilities. Now the two stats at the bottom are slightly interchangeable. The golden stat, the priority stat, is going to be damage to the Colossus. You absolutely want to get this stat on your reactor. The second stat could either be skill critical hit damage, chill, or singular. However, if you are going for the best of the best, I do highly recommend getting skill critical hit damage and damage to the Colossus for your Hailey Reactor. As you can see on screen right now, I'm just doing a little bit of running, but this mission alone takes less than 1 minute to complete, and you will get a fair few drops of your Hailey Reactor, so make sure to lock in and farm your Hailey Reactors this week. Next up, we have the Gley, Valby, and Enzo Reactor. So for this one, you are going to want to go over to Hagios, and you're just going to want to run around the corner, because the mission that you are going to want to run is literally right here, and this mission is called, wait for it. Come on, there you go, we're getting there. So the mission that you are going to want to run is called the Broadband Fleet Beacon. Now this is a composite mission, but it is still a very good mission and has a lot of drops. So if you're running this with Bunny or with Freyna, you're going to have a pretty good time. It's just a lot of drops left, right, center. It's just basically kill enemies, place a bomb inside of the little target, and then you get the circle that you have to stand in, and with that you just finish the boss off and the mission is literally done. Now, the reactors for this one, as I said, there's 3 different Descendants that you can get a reactor for in this one. For Valby and for Enzo, you are going to want to make sure that the reactor looks something like this. Now, for the mounting, it can be any weapon, whichever one is your preference. However, remember that you are going to be able to change this within the update. For the middle 2 stats, you are going to want non-attribute and dimension, so those are going to be for a little bit of boost on your abilities. Now for the 2 bottom stats, on Valby and Enzo specifically, you are going to want skill cooldown and skill duration up. This is again for your gluttony builds for Valby and Enzo. You're just going to make sure that you are keeping your abilities up and your abilities cool down a little bit faster, so you're able to spam them and use them more effectively. Now I did mention that Gley is also inside of this farm too. Now for Gley, it's going to be a little bit different. So for Gley, there is going to be a little bit of a change compared to Valby and Enzo. For Gley, for the massacre build, what you are going to want to do is choose skill duration up. This is so you can run with basically infinite massacre. Now for the second stat on this, what you are going to want is going to be a faction, preferably damage to the Colossus if you are using this for bossing, which majority of the player base does at this moment in time. Now that is specifically for the Gley massacre build. So let's talk about the Gley Predator Instinct build. For the Predator Instinct build, you are going to want to follow basically the same as the Valby and the Enzo Reactor, that being cost, skill cooldown and skill duration up. Skill cost on there would also be great in replace of the cooldown, but you do need that skill duration up to run Gley optimally. Now as you can see from the gameplay on screen, we're in the final stage. We're just running around in the circle, so once we take out this final boss here, the mission is literally done. Another nice part about this is that you can get the anode ion particles to drop. So, you know, if you're running low on your anode ion particles, you'll also get them from this mission. Now, that is going to be the farm for these 3 different Descendants. And yeah, onto the next farm we go. So, for the next reactor is going to be the Bunny Reactor. You're going to want to come to the fortress in hard mode to the defense line. The mission we are going to be running for this one is going to be the fortress command entrance. Now, this one again is an extermination mission. Fairly decent, can take you about a minute, 2 minutes to get it done. You know how it goes with extermination missions at this point. Now, for Bunny, I do recommend running this with Bunny. You can run it with any Descendant, of course, but Bunny just tends to make things a little bit faster. As you can see, I didn't actually join the mission for this one immediately because this other player was already running it. But let's just add about 20 seconds, 30 seconds of time onto the total just to make this fair. Now, as you can see here, we're just jumping around with Bunny, just killing the enemies, and they will eventually start dropping the Bunny Reactor, being the tingling singular reactor. Now, with this one, you are going to do the following for the reactor. Now, of course, the mounting weapon is a weapon of your choice, and remember, it is changing in the update, so even if you get a reactor for another weapon, make sure to hold on to it. Now, for the 2 stats in the middle, it is going to be electric and singular. Electric, of course, Bunny is an electric type Pokemon, and for the 2 stats in for the second stat being singular is going to be there because obviously Bunny's abilities are singular, more importantly her 3rd ability. Now, for these stats at the bottom, this is where it becomes interesting, and you know, this is where it varies a lot. If you do want to follow what I'm running for infinite sprint and infinite uptime, you're going to want to get golden skill cost and duration for my build specifically. Now, if you want to run any other Bunny build, you might want to go with electric, range, singular, or if you're running it for bossing, you're going to want the specific factions or anything of that sort. Now, with Bunny, it primarily depends on what you are building for, so I'm sure if you are running for a specific build, you will know what to farm anyways, but this spot is basically where to go for Bunny this week. Now, as you can see here, we're just running the mission. It's taking a minute. Sometimes the drops for this one aren't the most consistent, so make sure to be running your drop rate increase modifiers. And we are almost done with the mission now, I believe. Final boss is right there, and let's take him out and the mission will be done. As you can see, that mission is indeed not done. I'm stupid, we're going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Okay, never mind, the mission is complete, my bad. So there you go. This mission took us about a minute and a half, so I said I'd add 30 seconds on, about 2 minutes, and oh my god, that's a semi-god-roll reactor, what the hell. Alright, there you go, that's proof this works. That's a great reactor right there. So, that is a great reactor. That's exactly the sort of thing that you want, because the mounting can change, so you know, a bit of that. So, next up we have Ajax, and Ajax has got an amazing mission this week. So you're going to want to go to Kingston to the Grand Square, and the mission is going to be this extermination mission right over here. So we're just going to want to quickly travel over and let's run this mission because it is nice, easy and simple. Now let's talk about the reactor that you are going to want in Ajax in the meantime. So, for the reactor on Ajax, the mounting is going to be whichever weapon you prefer. Now, I do believe that this is a special round, so Secret Garden is going to be a great choice over here. Next up, we have the 2 stats in the middle. The 2 stats in the middle, you're going to want to go for non-attribute and dimension to increase Ajax's overall damage with his abilities. Now, for the last 2 stats at the bottom, it can vary depending on which build you want to run with. However, I generally would recommend range for more damage with your Ajax, and I've seen a more explosion range, and I would also recommend going with either a non-attribute or dimension increase, again to increase the overall damage output. Now, as you can see here, this mission is great, it's short, it drops a lot of reactors. Make sure to be rocking your increase modifiers, of course, because you know, more drops the better, and you know, the faster you get your god rolls and everything. So this mission is basically as simple as that. We're moving on to the final phase of this mission, where we are just going to take out the final boss right over there, and this mission is done and dusted. And this mission takes around about a minute, if that, less than a minute to basically complete. As you can see from the time on screen, I did it in a minute and 5 seconds, but it can be done faster. Next up we have Freyna. Now for Freyna, we've got 2 farms this week. Number 1 being the Sterile Land. For this we are going to teleport over, and we are going to be running the mission Weapon Process Facility. So for this one, you're just going to want to run right over this way. Once you spawn in, just go straight, and the mission is literally right over there. Now, for this mission, again, it is a very short mission. A lot of these are short and fast missions, which is exactly what you want. This one is also an exterminate. So for this one, you're just going to want to run around with Bunny or with Freyna again. I do think Bunny overall is generally better for farming reactors, only because you can run with a lot of range and it's just a little bit faster versus Freyna. And that's just my personal opinion, you know, please don't kill me over this. But for this one, you are going to be focusing on special rounds weapons. Now, for special round weapons for Freyna, there is one golden weapon in this game, and that is going to be the Secret Garden. Now, the Secret Garden is absolutely fantastic for Freyna because it can provide a buff for her toxic abilities. Now, that is going to be the mounting you are going to want to get, if possible. If you get any other mounting and still get other great stats, make sure to keep it. You will be able to change it in the update, like I've said for the 500th time in this video. Now, you also get negative ion particles from this, which is kind of nice, but let's talk about the optimal stats now. So, of course, mounting anything. For the two stats in the middle, you're going to want toxic and tech, and for the bottom, you're going to want faction, and you are going to, oh my god, I just got a god roll. That's a god roll. Yeah, so you're going to want toxic, tech, and a faction, ideally for the best levels of damage, exactly like that reactor you are seeing on screen. And this mission took me under a minute, so this is going to be the best special rounds for the reactor farm for Freyna. On to the next farm for Freyna now. Now for the second spot for Freyna, this is going to be in the Sterile Lands, and this is going to be in Rockfall, and I'm sure you all know the legendary anticipated ambush point mission. Now this mission is also going to be great for farming Freyna reactors, because you can get everything that is not special rounds here. You can get general rounds and all the other stuff, you know, you can get your shotguns and your snipers and all that sort of stuff from this mission right here. Now again, you can change the mounting, so in the next update, so remember that, hold on to your great reactors. And for the two stats in the middle, again, you're going to want to go toxic and tech. Now, for the two stats at the bottom, it basically follows more or less the same pattern. You're going to want to go with either duration or toxic and tech, and your range would be great on this as well. But primarily, you are going to want to get toxic and ideally duration, so you know it can vary a little bit from here to there. Now, I did mention previously in this video that the Secret Garden is great for Freyna, so let me explain to you why. Okay, so let's have a look at the Secret Garden's unique ability. When using a dimension skill, it can recover custom resources. When using a tech skill, it grants unique ability pest control with a set chance. Now, this is going to increase the stacks on the Secret Garden whenever you are using a dimension or a tech skill. Now, Freyna's first, third, and fourth ability are tech and dimension. So, this is going to basically boost it with Freyna. When you are using her abilities with this weapon equipped, it has a chance to activate and stack this up, and I believe the highest stacks possible are around about 37%, which is going to drastically increase her ability damage. This is why Secret Garden is 100% your go-to when it comes to Freyna. Now, if you have a look at the bottom of this image, again, where the pest control is mentioned, you can see the firearm per stack is 16% and the skill power per stack is 5%. So when you are using this and the first stack kicks in, it is going to give you 5% increase. When you are using the second stack, it is going to give 16% increase, making for a total of 21%. When you use the third stack, that is going to push it up even further to 32%. And then with the skill power on top, it is going to max it out at a total of 37%. So, you know, I just thought I'd give you guys the math and the breakdown just for a little bit of extra understanding why this weapon is so great. Anyway, guys, that's basically been this video on the reactors for this week. Make sure to get your Hailey Reactor, make sure to get your Ajax Reactor, and make sure to get your Freyna reactors this week, because they are all in great missions. So, that's been this video. Smash that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!